Hey guys, Conceptual BJJ here with another video. This time it's me talking, John. So what we're gonna go over is a sort of like a Q&A session over something I struggle a lot with. As a bigger, small guy, still in the ultra heavy weight class when it comes to competition, and I'm a little shorter, a little smaller. I've been working on half guard in order to mitigate some situations where I get smashed. But the problem with that is I still get smashed, especially if it's a higher belt or just someone who is bigger. So I wanted to ask Brett, as I show these different scenarios, what he thinks I could do to mitigate those situations and how to not just be on the defensive when it comes to half guard, but also being on the offensive when it comes to going against the bigger opponent. So my question starts with a knee shield. So this is where I start. So sometimes I'll start here, sometimes I'll start here. But one of the issues I'm facing is people are always either smashing, pinning my knee, or they're sprawling out and pinning my knee that way. So I'm trying to learn how to defend better. I'm not really sure what my options are. What I can do is with smaller people, go for underhook, go for a dogfight sweep, knee tap, lockdown. But that's just something I've problem with. So I'll hand it over to you, Brett, to see what answers you might have.
Okay, man. Yeah. So I think I used to have this problem a lot too, and I think a lot of people do. When starting half guard, a lot of it's controlling that inside space is going to be key. Just like a lot of the concepts that we talk about is controlling that knee and elbow space, that inside space here. So if John's in half guard, it depends on what kind of half guard that you're playing, but whether it's knee shield or butterfly, where you have the leg in. Two different guards. So knee shield, one of the benefits of knee shield is I'm locking his leg, so if John tries to just get up or whatever, I'm tied to him, so he can't use a lot of quick side to side passing right away if John gets up, right? So, or if he's here, I can start to get underneath him. I can start to start setting up single leg X and all these scenarios, or I can at least attached to him so he can't use his side-to-side passing as much, right? And a key detail, if you're using the Z-guard or knee shield, is to keep your knee and his hip. So I don't want my shin all the way through. This allows him to smash a lot easier. If my shin's all the way across his belly, like this, if John tries to smash, it's a lot easier. If I put my tip of my shin bone or my knee right in his hip, if he goes to smash now, it's a lot harder.
And it hurts.
Yeah, it's my whole femur bone against his hip. So we want to make sure to frame against bones, right? So if I have my whole shin, my foot bends. So as he comes closer, it bends my leg and smashes my leg. So I want to keep it on the tip. And I like to point my knee slightly up into his ribs too, because if it's down, he can smash a little bit. If my knee's up, now if he goes to smash, it's a lot harder. It depends on what they're trying to control, but if the guy's trying to get on this inside space, you have to be on your side, right? So if I'm flat like this, he's going to start putting weight and I'm not going to be able to move and have that knee and elbow connection. So I really want to be here, right? You want to think about almost like a fetal position, right? Use the elbows like this. So when he's trying to grab my head, I have both arms here like this. I can lift this elbow up and get this arm off me. If he's really trying to grab my head, I can rotate my head out, right? He's grabbing my head, can just rotate. And I want to keep controlling this inside space. So a lot of times he's trying to pummel. He'll try to pummel in, right? So I can follow with my elbow. So I'm here and he's pummeling, right? Tries to pummel in this way, like that, right? So you go to pummel in, I can use my elbow to stay close. And if he does pummel in, I have two hands so I can switch off. But
a lot of times, same thing as kind of like the side control escapes, is I want to make sure I'm on the inside. I don't want to be, it depends on how close he is. Like I can frame here if he's further away. If he starts smashing me and getting closer with his chest, I want to be more on the inside with my elbow. I don't want to be here like this, like here. Yeah, he can put a lot more pressure. So I want to be here with my elbow. If he does start smashing, I can use my elbow a little bit because I have my legs in play to get my knee out from his shoulder. So if John tries to underhook me from this situation, it's a mistake because I can overhook him and set up triangles and omoplatas from this position because I have this frame in place. Now, if I didn't have the frame, he could smash me, but I'm gonna block this. I can kick this out, and now I have triangle opportunities, omoplata opportunities, like, you know, here, you're probably gonna block this. I can feed this up and start going for triangles, right? So I can start going here. For me, personally, against a bigger guy, I have much more success blocking more of the shoulder when they're passing. Because a lot of guys, especially when they stay low, they're using their weight. I like to block their shoulder with my knee. So I don't want my knee just here. I try to bring my knee out from his shoulder line. So the top of your knee, your kneecap, should be free from his shoulder line. So anytime it's up here, he can smash this down. If he's a bigger guy, he can use this to like smash a lot easier. Yeah, if my knee's out from his shoulder, now try to smash, he can't. I can even grab his head to make sure that my knee is supported by my arm. So if you want to turn in this angle. Yeah, so my knee right here, I'm gonna get smashed. Here. I bring my knee outside, see how my knee's free? I can even grab collar tie here to support it. If he tries to smash me now, there's no way. It's too strong of a frame. So I like to frame more like on the upper body, using my shin. So frames only work one direction, right? So my frame, when I'm here, is good this direction, but he can turn and leverage the end point of the frame, right? So I want to keep the end point of the frame free. So if he turns his shoulder down, it doesn't change the frame. Like my frame's still free. So that's why it's good. And even if he is smashing, I can bring my elbow underneath to support. If my elbow's out, it's easier for him to smash right here. But I can use my elbow underneath as a support. So he goes to push this down to the mat, you know, with his weight, his chest. Here, it's gonna be a lot harder. So having this and controlling the inside space is #1 priority. So John was asking about, or go ahead and.
So one of the other situations I'm in is whenever I'm in half guard. So I have a knee shield and everything. They start smashing, and they start straightening my legs. Okay. And they start straightening my legs, and so obviously that knee elbow connection is severed, and so I don't know what to either do preventatively to stop this from happening, or how to counter this from happening. So that's my second question.
Okay. So are they doing like the lemon squeeze, or are they doing like the weave?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a combination of both.
Yeah.
But they'll like sometimes even like tripod and hold my legs together.
Yeah.
And start circling to the side to get that position.
That's another reason why I like to keep my knee free from the shoulder to begin with. But you have to be more sensitive if you're a knee shield. So if I'm a knee shield and you're wrapping around my legs, right? Like this, this is already really hard. So if he's squeezing, you're sitting down, you can do the pass, right? So what is your response from here? Are you framing or?
I'm trying to frame and close that space in.
Okay. And then what are you doing with your legs?
I don't, usually they're already pinned, so I'm just trying to recover some kind of guard.
Okay. So something that I like to do, let's say, usually I'm trying to control this inside space if I can. That's why I like to keep this knee out. This will stop a lot. Like, so if you play this kind of guard, like you're not as attached to where you keep them from running away as much, or like side to side passing as much, because now they're a little bit more free to move. But you can stay attached by using like collar ties, you know, 2-on-1s. You can also use this to set up your underhooks. I know you like the underhook. Mm-hmm. So this helps set up that underhook game. So I can keep this
So I can keep this long as I sit up. So now I can get a deeper underhook, right? And you like to play this underhook game. I don't really like to play that just at the higher level because I feel like there's a lot of counters to it. You can, like in certain instances, use that for your game if you're good at it. For me, just from a defensive standpoint, I like to keep this knee free. If you do end up smashed here, this is still going to happen sometimes, right? So you have to know how to escape. What I'm going to do is if their head's in like this, I'm going to use a short frame, right? Because so first I'll try a long frame, and if I can, so if I can get both arms extended like this on the shoulders, I'm going to use this to keep him, so if he drives in, this is a pretty strong frame right here. And if I'm not trying to push my arms straight, I'm moving myself back so that my arms are straight. So you can hold a lot of weight. Like if John goes to the side here, and if you just like lean your weight on me like this, like straight over me, like I can hold this weight a lot, like pretty easily in a long time, right? My elbows bend. I can't hold this very long. Like, you know, it's gonna require a lot of strength. Even if you can hold it, it's gonna be very tiring, right? So when we're framing, remember we want to use our bone structure, right? We want to use our bone structure when we're framing. So you can do this two ways. If he's squeezing my legs, all right, go ahead and squeeze my legs. I can frame both shoulders like this. I'm not trying to push my arms straight. I'm moving myself back to lock my arms out. Now as he drives in, it's gonna be a lot easier. And I'm not trying to open my knee. I'm trying to bring my knee straight through this hole. And then I go back to this type of guard here, like this. And now I can even sit up. Sometimes you can even go for guillotines, you know? Whatever your game is, but I like to get my knee free that way. The other way is maybe I can't get my arms locked, right? So let's say he's a little closer and I can't get my arms locked right away or anything. Maybe he's like, I feel like I'm about to get past. I'm gonna use a short frame. So I'm gonna use the bottom part of my elbow and I'm gonna start driving it into his carotid like this. So as he squeezes, it actually chokes him. Even if his chin's down, like your chin's down, like try to squeeze, like it sucks, right? And so I can like use this short frame to get to a long frame, right? And to free my knee. So anytime you're trying to free your knee, all you do is have to block the shoulder, bring your knee up through this hole. So if he's grabbing me or like lacing through, I don't want to try to open my knee against his body weight. This sucks, it's really hard. I'm trying to do this, it's not gonna work against anybody strong or big. So I need to block his shoulder. I move my knee straight up through the gap. Now I can open it. And then I attach to keep that frame in place. Because if I just let him go, he can move back and start like moving my frame, right? So once I remove the frame, I'm gonna block and I'm gonna keep him attached. So I collar tie him, or I come in close, I can get 2-on-1s. But I wanna keep him there. Now he has to deal with this to pass. It's really annoying. Like it's just a lot of weight on your head, you know? So like, it adds another aspect to setting up your attacks too.
So thanks guys for watching this video. This is really going to help my game as a small big person, but for anyone who's working in half guard, thanks to Brett for helping me workshop this, and I'll just let him close out with some of the key points of this video.
All right, guys. Thank you, John. Appreciate it, and hopefully, yeah, this does help you. When you're playing half guard, I think some of the key details is staying on your side. Remember protecting that inside space, meaning like your knees to elbow, like your armpit space to your hips. That's really important. And blocking that cross face. Using short frames versus long frames, your elbows versus like straight arms when you need them. But still trying to keep, even though my arms are straight, like you still want them close to your legs. Like if I'm up here, this is no good. So that and I like to, everyone plays their half guard a little bit differently, but I like to keep my knee free, especially if he's talking about dealing with like a bigger person. I think it's much easier to keep your knee free. You want your kneecap free above their shoulder. Anywhere around their chest or their hip, a bigger guy's gonna have a better advantage at smashing that if they get the grips. So those are some key details to keep in mind, and some hopefully some points to bring that knee straight through if they are getting to that position and smashing. So don't try to open your knee into their chest. Try to open it, straight up towards your head through this gap they're holding here. You want to bring it straight through this gap and then out to the shoulder. You don't want to try to go against their body weight, if that makes sense. So having said that, hope this helps John and a lot of you guys out. I know I struggled a while with half guard, and these details helped me. So hopefully they really help you guys out. Support the channel by liking, subscribing if you like the content. If it's helping your game, let us know. And we'll see you in the next video. Y'all take care.